So time management. Let's get started with that one. So I took some notes, and basically what I want to do is I want to go through the whole process, because a lot of things in time management kind of have to do with also how consistent you are with your strategy. That's a big thing. And sometimes people are gonna think, well, okay, so let me do the right task so I can be a trader. And it's not the way it works necessarily, because there's a lot of things you can do, and not all the things you do every day are gonna like help you with your goals. NTV game, what's up? Not asleep. That's funny. I don't know what this guy's doing, man. Crazy. I thought you were asleep, but it doesn't matter. All right. Okay. Cool. So that's the thing. There's so many things you can do every single day, but if you just do the tasks that like you read online and everything, you're only gonna get kind of part of it. Your tasks that you do every single day should be in line with kind of the goal you want to have and the things you want to achieve. Okay, so that's very important. And basically, the first step in all of this is to figure out like why you want to trade. Okay, so what is your why? And just let me know in the chat box, like what if I'm here, why you guys want to trade, and just let me know why. And we'll talk about like the problems with all of these whys. But tell me, and I'm curious to see what that's gonna be like. Sometimes you feel like you don't make progress doing something which may very well happen. Not sure I got the comment, but all right. Yeah. Yeah, so let me know why you want to trade. And I see, okay, being able to work from home. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, okay, okay. I'll tell you right away that there's a lot of easier way to work from home than trading, I think. But if that's your why, totally fine. But the point with your why is that you want to make it powerful enough so that every time you look at it or every time you think about it, like it's enough to put you to do some work. It's enough for you to kind of not take the bad trades. It's enough for you to stay committed to your goals. And a lot of people, what they're gonna have is they're gonna have some whys that are really like broad. Like I want to make money from, well, I don't like, I want to make money from home, but is that really your why? Like you could have a job where you at home and you still make money, right? You still get paid, but you work at home. So if that's not a powerful why, because then you're gonna find excuses, of course. But you want your why to be strong enough so that it keeps you moving forward. And I kind of know my why. Maybe I'll share it with you guys a little bit later. But then once you have your why, you want to make it big. You want to make sure that this is like something you see every single day. And I have this like in my journal in like a couple of different places. But I make sure that I look at it every single day, because that's what keeps me moving forward, right? If I don't have any motivation and any commitment to look back at it, it's gonna be very difficult for me to know kind of what to do. And I know this is gonna be like kind of a personal thing for you to figure out your why and to write it down. But once you have your why, then you can go to the next part. And the next part is like your why is going to be a big thing. So it could be something you reach in 5 years. And we've talked about that a couple of days ago. The fact that like if you only have goals that you're going to reach in 5 years or like in 16 years or whatever, might be closer. But the point is, if you only have like outcome goals, which are going to be very far, it's going to be very difficult for you to stay committed and do the action every single day. So what you want to do is you want to break this like big why into different parts. Okay. And it's kind of easy to do, but kind of not easy at the same time, depending on like what you want to achieve. Let's say you want to work from home, and that's like your bigger goal. Okay. So what can you like achieve these small steps along the way to get to your working from home? Okay. And it could be many things. Could be one that you're gonna like, I don't know, you're gonna make enough money to, well, so let's just go back over time. You're gonna make enough money so that you can trade from home, so that you can replace your job. Okay. And before that might be, well, you're gonna make like half that money. And before might be, well, you're gonna make like a third of that money. And before that might be that you're just gonna be consistent with your strategy. Because those are different goals. And you don't have to have a clear like when you're gonna achieve them. It doesn't really matter. What really matters here is that you have like your why, you have your reason, and you have some like smaller step you can achieve over time. Then that's going to be interesting. Then you figure out which one you want to achieve first. And like we don't care about what like all of these goals. We don't care about all of them. What you really care about is what is the next one you want to achieve. Because if you look like at all these 5, 10 goals that you have to reach your why, well, like it's gonna be like it's overwhelming. Like there's a lot to do and there's a lot to achieve, but you only care about the first one to start with. And let's say this is being consistent. Then you can even break it down more. Like, what does it take to be consistent? Well, it's pretty simple. It takes a strategy. It takes the right mindset. Maybe you have some of them, and it takes a money management. Okay, so those are 3 things you have to establish. Now, which is the first you have to work on? Well, maybe you have the mindset. Maybe you have the money management. You don't have the strategy. Well, what does it take to have a strategy, right? Always ask, what does it take? What does it take for that strategy? Well, I need to do some back testing. I need to find some ideas. I need to maybe follow a course on what works. And you just, like, all the time, when you break it down, like, you write it down on a sheet of paper, but you only take the first step to everything you do. And then that's going to be like a series of action that you take. So you can take that one action and see result, and then you take the next action, right? You don't need to see the whole picture, like everything that's in front of you. Okay, that doesn't really matter. What really matters is that you have the first action, a couple of series of action, and that you take like steps every single day. Okay, that's the point. Let's check out the comment. Right now my goal is to get from trading in break-even, trading profitable. Yeah. Exactly. So I've been working with that's the reason I've been working with NTV Game on his strategy and things that he has to implement. Basically, his strategy was breaking even for the past year. Now he's been finding something better that might be better. So his next step now is to trade, right? Trade and see the results. Pretty simple. But in the meantime, there's maybe other things you can do, right? Because trading, I don't know, like he's trading the 1 hour chart. Trading the 1 hour chart might take some time. Of course, you have to look at the chart. So it's not gonna be like me, where like I can do something else during the day. If you trade the daily, the 1 hour chart, like he does, it's gonna be more difficult to do something else during the day. Okay, so maybe you just want to focus on that thing every single day. But the key point is that every single day, like no matter what, if you want to achieve your goal, you have to do like at least one step toward reaching that goal. Like at least, so what you want to do is you want to block time every single day to work on your goal, to work on your big why, and to take that one next step to move forward. Okay, if you do that only once a week, it's gonna be difficult. And the biggest myth here is that, like, the biggest excuse people are gonna have is they're gonna say, well, like, I'm too busy. I work every day. I have all of this, and I cannot work on my trading. Well, you take only 1 hour to start with, but the goal is you want to do it every single day, because it's gonna be much more difficult if you like. Let's say you were to take 5 hours in the weekend to work on your goal. Okay, yes, it's gonna be, yeah, like you might be excited to work on it. You might want to like go and work on that goal in the weekend, but it's gonna be much more difficult, and you're gonna be much more reluctant to do it because it's a big time chunk. It's a big thing every single week. Okay, instead, if you take only like 1 hour per day, like 1 hour is fine. Like you can sit there, you work a little bit, do some things a little bit, do some backtesting, do some whatever you need to do, and it only takes like 1 hour is quickly passed, right? It's quickly done, and that way you ensure that you see progress every single day. Okay, and the other thing is you want to like journal that progress you make every single day, because if you don't look back at how you perform, you feel like you didn't do anything. And I'm this way at all, like completely. If I work a lot and I like, even if I achieve things, but I don't write it down and like notice what I've done, I feel like I didn't do anything. I feel like I'm still like I'm going backward or something. So that's really, really weird. But if you note down the things you've made over time and the progress you've made, then you see like what steps you take and you see you moving forward. And that is the goal. No matter how long it takes, no matter how many years it takes, as long as you move forward and take the right step, you're always going to be closer to your goal. And that's the point. Okay, I see people who like they have this big why, they want to reach that goal, but they don't do anything like every single day to achieve it. They only like spend some time, read some book, or like they don't take the right action, right? That's another big thing. If like your job is to test your strategy right now, but you read a book on finding a better strategy, like you're not achieving your goal. You're doing something that is not helping you move forward, right? If your job is to journal your thing and review, like let's say review your past trades and you wake up and you read a book about money management, well, guess what? It's not like, why would you do that? Why not take the time that you take to read, and why not use that time to review something, to do what you have to do, right? And instead of spending time on the useless stuff, spend time on the right things. NTV Game saying, I can do this stuff at the moment. Trying to stop being sick. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, of course. That's a good point, actually. Sometimes you feel like you work a lot, but you don't make progress because you have like this big thing ahead, right? This big, like this all these things to do. And that is why breaking down your task or your goals into smaller parts help you like see what you've done. And like for me, for the past like I don't know, how long has that been? Like I don't know, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know, but I've been doing this practice thing for like 4 weeks on different things that I want to like improve and all that stuff. And it's not done yet, right? I'm still working on it. And those tasks obviously are going to be published in the academy, which is something I've been discussing with someone I think yesterday. But yeah, the tasks are going to be published, but I'm still working on it. Like I feel like it's a big thing, but as long as I do work every single day, and as long as I move forward, right? I'm testing things. Like my goal is not to get the result right now. It's not to like do completely the backtesting, to complete the backtesting. My work now is to complete backtesting for one pair, like one pair, two pair, three pairs. And as soon as I've done one pair, it's an accomplishment, even if the results are bad, because I'm still moving forward. And that's like Edison, who said that he's been testing, I think, 1,000 ways or 10,000 ways for the electric, like the light bulb, basically. And all of these ways, he's only saying like all of these are just a step for like a step toward the goal, a step toward the right solution. And that's how you have to see it. If you see it as, well, like I didn't get the result, I didn't have this right thing right now, like this is bad, well, of course, like you're gonna be disappointed. It's gonna be more difficult. But if you see every action you take, and also, who said that? Shark Up. Lessons or progress. Every lesson you learn, they are all progress. It's all something you learn. As long as you don't forget them, as long as you don't use what you've done as like things you're not gonna use in the future. You want to use every single lesson you learn and you want to write them down so you can use them later. And every action you take, at least you get the result, which is already good, right? Like, what's better? Is it better to backtest something, see it doesn't work, or is it better to not backtest something and not see if it works or not, right? If you see it that way, I want to backtest like everything now, and see whether it works or not, and that's the point. So you pick the big why that you have in the future. You bring it back into smaller actions, into smaller goals, break that down into action, and break that down into like smaller action you have to do every single day. And then like you work like 1 hour per day, let's say, on something. Okay, you ensure that 1 hour per 1 hour of your day, whether it's in the morning, at night, like whatever in the evening, doesn't matter. At least 1 hour per day, so that you can work on this thing and move forward every single day. And you write down like what you've achieved for that day, and maybe what's your next step, right? Because sometimes we can feel like things change. Like that's a fact. Things are gonna change. You might do some backtesting, for example, and you might see, well, okay, so after this, maybe I have a new idea that might be better. Let me try this out. So instead of doing like you 5 next week of backtesting the same way, why not trying the other thing and keeping track of the things you do, right? Don't schedule like far in advance, and that's a mistake I've done. I used to like schedule all these things in advance of things I had to do, either mostly for the podcast, not for trading necessarily, but I used to like have all this backlog, and then I had a new idea that would like change everything. But is it better to pick that new idea, or to go with the 5 weeks of like work that I thought I had to do before, right? So I think it's most important to pick the new idea if you think it's gonna be better, and just test it a little bit, see if it works. What's Stefan saying? It's good to have another hobby besides trading to get some. Yeah, of course, and that's why I'm saying only 1 hour per day, right? Because if you spend like 10 hours per day, or so let's say you work 8 hours per day right now, well, let's say like 9 hours with a commute or whatever. So you don't want to like spend all your life working and trading, right? Probably not a bad idea. So you want to have like something that you can maintain over time, not something where you're gonna work like 5 hours per day on your trading and then like kind of burn out, be tired of trading, like you're gonna scratch everything, you're not sleeping enough, and then like you forget trading. No, like you want to have something sustainable, and that's why only 1 hour per day is doable, right? And of course, have like hobbies. And even myself, I've done the mistake of like only doing like work and trading on the weekend, where like I was finishing the week, I would work all the weekend to like do something on a podcast and everything, but it doesn't give result. You just end up being worse than you were before, right? You end up being tired all the time, and that doesn't help. So as much as possible, you want to take some time off on the weekend to work on some things that like keep you moving forward, either like a hobby or going outside or something you like, whatever, as long as it can kind of help you gain back energy so you can be better the next week, right? That's very, very crucial also. Good point. Good point. So those are things that like you have to do now. If you didn't like take a sheet of paper and break down your goal, it's kind of right now you have to do it. Otherwise, what should you spend time on? Should you spend time listening to a podcast, reading books? It depends what stage you are at. If you need to listen to podcasts, well, do it, right? If you use it as inspiration, do it too. It's good. But if it's not in your goal right now, right? If it's not helping you move forward, why do you do it, right? Why do you spend time doing things that are not helping you? That's a big part also. Yeah, it's hard to rest when you're obsessed. Yeah, of course. But the way I see it now, right? The way I see all of this kind of work and free time thing is that I could either like work like crazy and do things and record like 10 podcasts a day and everything, but I'm only gonna do these podcasts. I'm not gonna have the benefit when you go out and you do other things, even if you're obsessed, is that you get some new ideas and you always show up better next time. That's very, very important. What are you saying? Yeah. Spend some time watching my live stream. Of course, those help. I hope, but that's the point. Yeah. So of course, like if you do only like, I've seen traders who are really obsessed. Like they're always gonna be talking trading, and I think that's fun. I think I probably like that too myself. But the point is that you do want to take some time off to get better ideas, because those ideas can change everything, right? They can help you move forward faster. And if you just work, you don't get ideas. If you work and get time off, you get ideas, which can really help you move faster. And that's the point. So I've had like so many ideas when I was like walking or going outside or doing anything that I wouldn't have had if I were backtesting all day, right? Those are things that you have to spend time on also. So that's why time management is, yes, you achieve your goals, but you also have these activities on the side, like going outside, like exercising, whatever, to make the process faster and to make the process more efficient and more effective for you. Okay? So that's a big part. And like there's different tools you can use for all of this. I'm a big fan of like my calendar, which has like everything pretty much blacked out and everything planned in advance. But you pick whatever thing you want to use to do your time management. Yeah, take a step back to gather your thought. Of course, big thing. Yeah, of course. And one of the things that I started doing last week, and I did that before, is to like every week take some reflection time where you have like no technology, no iPhone, no like computer, whatever, not technology. It's a big word. And then you just reflect, spend some time like writing or finding ideas for whatever problem you have. And those are things that really help. Like now I have these like pages of notes, not actually this page, but other pages. Okay. But they're all things that I have to work on. And that's the point. These things, you would not have them if you did not like, if you did not spend time to reflect and to gather your thought. And that's very important. Let's see. How long have you been? Okay, that's like out of the cool. Jonathan, that's kind of out of the topic, but I'll answer quickly. It's interesting. How long have you been a profitable trader and keep trading through drawdowns while not breaking your trading rules? Yeah, those are two questions. Okay, two questions. How long have you been a profitable trader? About 2 years now, I think. Yeah, pretty much 2 years. Actually, last year. Yeah, pretty much 2 years right now. And pretty much 1 year full time, 1 year trading for 40 people. So, and the second part, yeah, actually for the first part, and this is something I wanted to mention, it's the fact that you kind of don't really know when you're profit. It's kind of hard to say when you're profitable. That's why like I'm always thinking and hesitating on that question. But basically, you look back and you say, "Well, I've been profitable for this much. It's good, right?" So you look at it afterward, and then you understand you've been profitable. And that's the point. You cannot just say, "Well, okay, starting today, I'm profitable." It doesn't work that way. So when you look back, then you can see like how long you've been profitable, and that's pretty much. It's been 2 years now. Yeah. Uh, Second question was, okay. Yeah, keep trading through drawdowns while not breaking your trading rules. This is very hard. Keep trading during the drawdowns. This is something I'm probably still struggling with, because I tend to like a little bit tune out during drawdown. I think it's not bad. It's a good thing sometimes, but yeah, I've had maybe two big drawdowns, or maybe I don't know, maybe one big drawdown. Yeah, one big drawdown. That was in July 2016, like kind of last year, I think. There's a video on this channel. I'll link it below afterward. But that was like a 6% drawdown on 1 month, I think. And basically, what happened at that time? I think, yeah, I think I kept trading, but yeah, I didn't change anything. I just kept trading the same thing. And basically, like sometimes you need to just go back and reevaluate, like not reevaluate, but go back on your rules and like see what you've done, right? That's a big thing. So whenever things go bad, you go back at how things were when you did good, and try to spot, did you do things differently? Are you doing things differently now? Is there like one thing you need to kind of put back in place that you did when you were more successful? And most of the time, like for me at least, I found things that I just slept a little bit. Like I was not exactly the same. And that's like the type of stuff that you want to correct as soon as possible, right? Those are things that you have to bring back to place so you can trade profitably afterward. And most of the time, like it works out. You just keep doing the same thing, and then you kind of see like, oh, I have all these good trades, and then like getting back in place afterward. So it's kind of, yeah, you have to experience it. I think like this is something I cannot really teach you. It's something that you have to see yourself and live yourself. And of course, like it sucks kind of, but you have to, like, surrounding yourself with other traders of course helps a lot, because they can bring you back to the right I don't want to say mindset, but kind of the right mindset where you see things the right way, and you always like get motivation. And whenever I'm gonna be out with traders or talking with other traders, I'm always getting back this motivation, and it's always helping me move forward faster and like get back to the right track. So that really helps. See, that's for me not that difficult. Yeah, well, yeah, it depends. The thing, yeah, you might have, I guess it depends. Some people are really, really strict on their rules. And I think, like, if my strategy was really, really systematic, like look at this, and, well, like, kind of really simple with indicators, that would be easy to stick to the rules, because, like, they're simple. But whenever you have some discretion in your trading, and I think discretion helps me sometimes, but when you have some discretion, it's like you have to, it's kind of easier to slip a little bit, right? And the things that slip are not like big things. It's not like, oh, I don't put a stop loss, or I don't put take profit. No, like those, it's small things. How you see the market, you look at like all the time frame you're supposed to look at, or very simple things. So if I'm only trading like something really systematic, it's easy, I think, to keep going through the drawdown. Or if it's like if you're trading an algo, it's really simple. You just do the same thing over and over again. But if you have a small discretion, it's easier to be affected by it. And that's why, like, I'm still working on it, I say. But there's still work to be done with that, of course. And TV game, I don't think that's what you meant, but I try to keep everything subjective. I think it's more objective, but yeah, of course. Of course, it helps if you have like simple rules that you write down, and that's pretty much how I started. Like the first first strategy I had was very, very objective. Simple things. Like you could like create them on a napkin and you could trade it pretty much easily. But I've kind of evolved a little bit where I have some more discretion, especially with the market phase. But those are things that you get better. Like once you have a drawdown and you know like how to spot how to do those things right. And once you live your couple of drawdowns, then it's easier to keep going. But of course, like you have to. That's the thing. A lot of the progress you make in trading has to do with like your drawdowns, your errors. If you don't have any drawdowns, you don't have any experience. To me, so you kind of have to go through them, and I think that's. But yeah. Anyway, we're kind of going off track. So I want to make sure you guys have something to work on with the time management aspect. I hope everything is clear. I'll finish it here for today. There's been no video this morning. There's going to be a video tomorrow. And actually, on that topic, there's going to be next Monday. We are Thursday. Next Monday, I'm going to be interviewed on my podcast. So you guys are going to be able to see kind of the interview of me. Well, me being interviewed, basically. So my lessons and how I got to trading and everything. That's going to be interesting, I think. And you guys are going to be able to check that out. Yeah, exactly. I want to highlight that point right here. And TV Games said, I think that once you have a strategy that you've been trading for a while, it's easier to implement something subjective, like discretion stuff. Of course. And that's exactly what I did. Basically, I had this strategy that was very, very systematic, very, very objective. And then over time, you can add some things that makes it kind of, because Usun Trong, one of my great friend and also trader, says that basically your biggest advantage in trading is your discretion, right? Your biggest strength as a discretionary trader is of course discretion. If that was bad, why would you keep it to the table? Why would you use discretion, all right? So that's the point. So the biggest strength you can have as a discretionary trader is how you see the market, your discretion. But you have to make sure that it's helping you. And that's where like experience and like everything comes into play. So I'll finish it here for today, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. It's going to be a new video every single day as always. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.